It is, it's rough right now. More so for the dogs than for me. But they make sure to share the misery. Albert, he is very, very miserable. So the howls of lust that we talked about before, there is more like just constant agony of misery. So yeah, not a lot of talking because all you can hear is that. Lust problems right now, and my little poodle cannot be silent. He needs to share the agony with us all. And in fairness, I mean, I complain a great deal too, so I guess it's not more than fair that he gets a few weeks out of the year where he just does not shut up. So yeah, I'm going to, the next clip will be silent with some pretty music for you, and for me, the panting and grunts of misery. Yeah. Okay, Tuesday morning. I don't know if you can hear, but Albert is left inside and he is not happy about it, and I can hear it all the way here. So let's start today by taking a look at the paints we did yesterday and see how bad it is. So the first paint we did, Amortentia, it's just the first pour. It was just that it was running out, but looks good. Looks very good. Now the other paint is Belladonna, and that one was supposed to come out this time, but because of stuff I moved it, so it will be out in May. And the problem I had there is that it's so dry and it's cracked, and looking at it now, it doesn't have that nice sheen that it usually does, but it does not have the big cracks either, so I feel like we have to take this as a win. It was not looking good before, so that's good. I had like either it will not crack or it will crack a lot, and it didn't crack a lot. So anyway, together with Belladonna we have Algot, and they look good. We have also here you can see yeah, okay, it not all paints are doing well, I can just say that. We will also have Asted, which was no issue this time, which was surprising. But I think today we're going to start by making Algot, which was one of the pastel colors. And I made a very small batch because I just had a very little pigment, but I have a little bit more, and it sold out so quickly, and it's such a lovely color. So I'm going to top these up, and hopefully, depending on how it dries, it could be out together with those in May. Because May won't have any new colors, it will just have like a curated set to go with the patches and hopefully the tape. I still haven't heard anything from the manufacturer. I asked him to send me an image as soon as he could, which he hasn't, which I take it as they are not done, all of them. Now, it is my biggest order in terms of quantity, but also in terms of different designs. And there was a lot of different width, so yeah. So just waiting for that. I still have like a little basket on my desk here, you can see over there, of new pigments I have ordered that I want to try out. And then so the ones I have tried out, they go in one bin that I want to order again, and the ones that I'm like not right now, they go into another. So for now I have like 5 pigments that I'm like I need to order those, I love them, and the others are like good to have for reference, but it's not something I feel like I need right now. And when I do these pigments, I make them in full pans, and they end up on this shelf for drying just because it's easy, and then they end up in the reference sort of catalog. If they get to a real paint, they end up in the tin, but I have like a big whiteboard where I put all the reference pigments, so that if I want to make a new paint, I can mix from just the pure pigments. So yeah. Anyway, we're going to start by making Algot. I've just had fika. It's not even 11, but I have finished 2 paints today. So I'm sitting down to do computer work. And what I'm going to do right now is wraps. So I needed more wraps for Maiken. And I'm also going to do all the wraps and stuff for the April set. I still need to name them. So I had a note. You're sitting on my note. Okay. For the green one, that is Fergus. And we sort of decided on that together. The first one who suggested it was Lena Jessie. And I have contacted her, but I took a few names and I put it to a vote on the community page, and Fergus won, which I'm pretty happy about because I love the name Fergus and I just feel like it's kind of perfect. So that's the green one. The red one will be called Tulipa because that is the Latin name for tulip. I thought it just looks like a tulip color to me, so I think Tulipa will be good. The blue glittery one, the sort of rain color, I'm thinking about it. That was supposed to be Iris, but my mom decided to steer off that path, going to something else, which is fine. It actually fits kind of perfectly. But she wanted to call it Fridolf, and that is our late dog, and I think it's kind of perfect. So, but that means I still have 2 colors to name. I have the brown one, which I love so much. I know, like, how can you love a brown one? But I just really like it. So I was reading through the name suggestions here, and Karina, she has named the suggestion Ragnar, and I was like, yeah, I really like Ragnar. It's a common Swedish older person name, you know. And I see here that I answered that comment a month ago and saying that I really like it, and that if I don't use it for this green one, I might use it for somebody else, for another color, which I do. And she actually named Ivar, which we just did. Karina, this video is for you. I still have this sort of, it's not a gold color, it is a yellow with a little bit of gold glitter in it. But it's definitely like a warm yellow metallic. And I got a suggestion that if the bluish glittery color was going to be Fridolf, then the other one should be Selma. It's like an iconic cartoon here in Sweden. But I just don't feel like it is a Selma. I don't think about it as a Selma. My mom, she also made that one because she was on a kick and she was going to do all the colors. She calls it Asta. And I have started to think about it as Asta too. The only thing is, I have quite a few colors that are, I have Astrid, and I have Estrid, and Astor, and I just feel like, is it too many Ast names, you know? I think it is. I feel like it is a little bit too much. I really like those kind of names, obviously. Beata, there is also one name that I really love, Beata. But Beata for me, it's more either a red or a grey one. When I was younger and I was riding at a riding school, there was a horse I was riding quite frequently. She was very, very hard to ride. She bucked a lot, and she was not a favorite for anybody, but it was sort of like a test, you know, like how good you are, like, and that was Beata. Yeah, I mean, I never had to go to a hospital for her, but other people, she was quite aggressive, but she was kind of fun too. I actually did a jumping competition with her. That went by way too quickly. If I just, yeah, that was, I think, my last jumping competition because I'm not a jumper. That is beyond the point. But yeah, I'm going to save Beata for something else. I think I don't feel like this is a Beata. No. Yeah, you know, I'm going to fill out. I can just show you here. So here is how it looks on the computer. So what I do is I just go in here and, sorry, and I just change the names, and once they have the right name, I save it. and I printed out on sticker paper. I then put a thin strip of waxed paper behind the name, and then I go in and just paint a strip of color over. So it's a little bit of work, but I'm thinking if I do that for the four that I have named, by the time I come to the yellow color, I might just like come up with a name. Okay, so the mail just arrived, and my decided to do like a little free sticker. Did some artwork. I was so happy with the result that I decided to do a print of it. But then also I thought these were so cute, and I was like, I'm just going to make a tiny vinyl sticker and have that as a freebie for all the orders. And I just think it is so cute. So the artworks that I did was, you know, this sort of loosen up sketch challenge thing where you draw something but you don't lift your pen off the paper, you just continue like a one line thing. I have been doing that quite a lot and I think it is so fun, and I did that and I thought it would be really fun. So I had this idea of wanting to do something for Jane, and I was like, shoes is pretty fun. I've drawn shoes before, usually for my chickens. So I was like, okay, let's just do some warm-up and do like the one line. So first I started doing it one line with my left hand, and then I did a one line with my right hand, and I was like, I really like how they look. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it one more time, and I'm going to do it with some black ink. And I just loved the look of it. I decided to do it again on better papers. I did it on Bristol, a little bit thicker black ink, and I love the results of it. So I scanned that in, and then what I did was I took my Jane colors and I just swatched them out, a pretty big swatch, like 6x6 sort of swatch, and then I did a few swatches where I sort of mixed the colors, but I only used the 4, so not Emma or Wentworth, because those are metallic and they don't look very nice when you scan them in. So I did that, and then I layer them underneath, and I just love that. The sort of like combination of a very loose sketchy style and then the watercolor, and then sort of the very clean look you get with digital, and I'm so happy. So that is the stickers, a free sticker that will go with every order, and I think they're so cute. Anyways, I have that. I also have a pack of free stickers that are going to be for May, but I'm not showing you those right now. You're very curious, I can tell. Julia? Det är inte många som är så förvirrade som hon är. Och du kan köpa tandkräm. Hey. That was my mom. I just needed to complain a bit about the dogs. The only normal dog we have right now, it is Uni. Anyway. Oh, and I also It's the first time I ordered an Upcrate, and I was like, I'm not doing an unboxing video, I'm just opening it. So, and it's great. I was very surprised. So it has some acrylic gouache, some brushes, bottle post, the magazine. Like, there's a lot in here. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of content, it just feels like they try to fill it up with images. So I'm going to save this for, I was going to say a rainy day, it's raining right now, so I wanted to sort of wrap up this vlog because partly I'm wearing this same cardigan today. No, but I have worked with the Upcrate, and I thought I was just going to give like a really quick sort of like my thought on it. So first of all, I feel like it was a really good, like, cohesive box. I felt like from the wrapping tissue paper and the bottle post and the stuff in it, I felt like it really followed a theme, and that is one thing that gets really on my nerves when I don't buy a lot of subscription boxes because of that reason. When I see many other people open it, and they're like, well, I mean, it's a fun item, but it doesn't work with these items, you know? And I'm all for mixed media, so don't at me, you know? But I felt like in this box we had gouache, we had brushes, a sponge, an eyedropper, and watercolor paper, and I'm just like, that's really great. I do have to say that the brushes, especially the small one, I really love it. Really love it. I have not used the paint a lot. I have done some color swatching and then just some quick flower doodles to see how it works. I have worked quite a lot with gouache, and I like gouache, and I felt like in the beginning it behaved very much like standard gouache. The only thing is that this was the first time I'm using acrylic gouache, and I felt like I could tell when the gouache on the palette sort of started to dry down, and then I sometimes got like dry flecks of the paint in the paint when I was painting. And I'm not really into that. Also, I have to say, like, after it was a lot like trickier to clean up the palette because it's acrylic. That the pro to acrylic gouache is that it dries down, you know, you can't re-wet it. But I have never had an issue where I'm painting with gouache and I go over an already dried layer and the new layer is reactivating it and sort of muddies up. I've never had that, depending on if I start with light or start with dark and go over, vice versa. So, I mean, I'm glad I have it. I think it's a really good color selection with a sort of a neutral yellow and then a warm red and then the neon. It was a little bit surprising, I have to say. To be like a little bit nitpicky, opera red, I would classify that as not. That is like opera pink, opera rose maybe, but opera red, no. Like, but then again, I am a little bit nitpicky. Sky blue is like a really good typical like cyan color. Jet black, and then we get a bigger tube of white, which I think is so clever to do. Natural sponge and eyedropper, I think, is one of the two of those things that if you're working with gouache or watercolor or something, it's just really good to have in your arsenal. However, the Pilot pen, I really like it. It's a very skinny line. It feels a little bit too light to draw with, but my biggest thing is with it, it bleeds. And I'm like, here we have a water-soluble medium. And you could say, well, maybe like there's no point going in with the black line under because we're working with a gouache, there is an opaque medium. And this one is supposed to be like on top of it, yes, but just like there's so many waterproof liners out there that I'm just, yeah. Also the Pentel pencil, I like it. It's 0.2, which is by far the smallest lead width I have ever worked with. It's very like, they really make a point with how to use it, and I think that is good. So all in all, I think it's a very good curated box even though the material is not something that I over the moon about, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like the best thing a box can do is being well curated, and I feel like this one is. I hope you have enjoyed this week's vlog. We have, well, I have, you have just watched it, made a lot of paint, which I always feel very accomplished when I have done a lot of paint. It also means that I kind of didn't do a lot of other things that I needed to do, that I need to do now. But it just feels very nice to do a lot of paint. But yeah, and I can report now, it's been a week, that the dogs have quieted down quite a lot. The worst is over. We no longer have the howls of lust echoing through the village, and we can all sleep at night. I think that's why I'm in such a good mood. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. Take care, and I hope to see you soon. I think that was my shortest take yet.